Hey, what's going on? Emerge the Real Estate Podcast audience. Here I am again, your host, Aleem Bakari. And man, I'm just I'm just excited. I just can't say it any other way. I've been fortunate to have friends that have friends and to bring quality people to this podcast. And today is no different. I tell you, this guest that we're going to have today, I could spend at least 5 minutes just going over all of his different titles and accomplishments and all that. And so I'm excited about our guest today. Our guest today is none other than Mike Jones. He is first of all, he's a judge. He's a justice of the peace. He's a professor. He's an adjunct professor, and he also has his master's of public administration. He's a broker, and he's also a business owner. And so I'm going to tell you, I say this all the time, but today I really mean it. Get your notebooks ready. Get your notebooks ready. All right. And so, of course, the podcast today is sponsored by Victory Capital. And Victory Capital exists for one reason and one reason only, and that is to connect investors and business owners to capital that they need. So check them out at www.victorycapital.com. They are the sponsors for the Emerge the Real Estate Podcast today. So without any further ado, Judge Mike Jones, what's happening, sir?
Hey, how you?
Doing fantastic. So, man, can you just start out? I mean, I have given everyone kind of a brief bio, but can you just tell the audience who you are and kind of some background on what you do?
Well, yes. First and foremost, thank you for having me out here, having me on the podcast, man. I greatly appreciate it. My primary duties right now, I'm a current justice of the peace, which is a judge that presides over small claims, civil cases. We preside over Class C misdemeanors, traffic cases, real estate evictions, which is one of my biggest things that we handle here at the courts. We marry a lot of people as well. So when we go down to the courthouse, get married, you'll come here.
Right.
Do a lot of driver's license hearings, occupational driver's licenses, several different things that the Justice Peace actually does. Property hearings, tow hearings. If you get your car and you feel like it's illegally towed, you would actually set a hearing down at my court as well. That is currently, and it's an elected position. So I actually ran a campaign and I was elected this position. We're here in my office here in Grand Prairie, Precinct 4, Place 1. We cover 7 cities, which includes Irving, Grand Prairie, City Hill, DeSoto, Duncanville, Glen Heights, Old Villa, and a little bit of Dallas. So, this as far as also, as you said as well, I am a college professor. I teach real estate because I have a background in real estate. I teach real estate for Dallas County Community College District. I've taught qualifying courses for you to get your real estate license, and now I'm a continuing education instructor as well. So I actually teach commercial real estate as well. Then when we talk about being a business owner, of course, me and my wife have a brokerage. It's called Franchise Real Estate Group, and I'm the managing broker of the brokerage. And we just work really hard to increase minorities, not just minorities, but tenants and businesses into getting commercial lease space. I specialize in investment sales. That's where you looking to purchase, more of those retail strip centers, bigger assets, multi-family units, and things like that. So we're a full service, smaller brokerage out here in the DFW area. And I think that's really about it, So we've got a few things working. I also have a background as well in city government. And other than that, I managed about 1,200 city-owned properties for the city of Dallas. That included tax foreclosed properties, commercial properties, residential properties, nonprofits. I got a good portfolio, good roundabout experience, and a lot of different areas, primarily in real estate. So.
Great, great. Well, good deal. So I, I didn't ask you this earlier, but where did the desire come for public office? Is this something that you've always kind of had an inkling for, or?
Actually, no. It actually started off I served as the mayor pro tem for the city of Glen Heights on city council, and know it or not, I was actually asked to be on that position from a colleague of mine in real estate, coincidentally.
Mm-hmm.
But I got on council for the city of Glen Heights, and I actually loved it. And then I started being able to be a change agent and making change and doing a lot of process improvement that I learned from working for the city of Dallas. It kind of transposed into that. And from there, I started loving actually serving the community and serving people. So from there, it now you ask yourself, why am I a judge? Is one most important thing is, I like, fixing things or revamping things or reorganizing things, and knowing that we have the issues with the criminal justice system. I want to do my part to ensure that I restructure, remodel, do everything I can at my level. And of course, I give everybody a fair trial, a fair case, opportunity to be able to take care of their business. Because to be honest, when you look at a lot of minorities and people in general, not necessarily minorities, that are facing issues and tickets and things like that, you have that opportunity to help them get their license back, some small, so they can get a job, or if a person has warrants, give them a second chance to be able to take care of those warrants. So that'd be one less person is getting stopped by the police for any type of probable cause because they got a warrant. So, I'm doing my part to reduce the amount of people that are going into the prison system or jail system, whatever the case may be. And again, and know it or not, this office and most other justice of the pieces are still using paper file folders, So, my background, and also have an IT background as well on projects and stuff. And so right now I'm spearheading them we're actually going to become paperless.
Okay.
When you're dealing with paper, with anybody, there's room for error.
Yeah.
Papers get lost, cases get lost, and I'm a process improvement guy, and I got to fix that stuff. So that's my thought process. So.
Well, good. That's awesome. That is awesome. So back to, like, let's get back into real estate, since this is a space that you operate in, and you operate in a couple of capacities. So let me ask you this: so what's some opportunities out there for investors? This podcast is for two types of real estate investors. It's for the investor that is sitting on the fence, that's dreamed about it, that's done a bunch of study but hadn't pulled the trigger on anything yet. And then also it's aimed at the seasoned investor that wants to scale but don't have all the tools, or that there's still some things that's missing, or some opportunities. So what kind of opportunities are you seeing out there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. It had a delay. Well, investor wise is real estate overall is opportunity. When the market's up, there's opportunity. When the market's down, there's opportunity. From what I see, and the retail industry did take a hit on of things. And if you have opportunity to purchase a retail strip that has multiple vacancies, maybe over 60% vacancies, that's an opportunity. The office industry took a very big hit because, of course, everybody's working home. And literally, I was doing was actually surveying and and checking out what the inventory is out there. There's a lot of office space out there available. So they're taking a very big hit. So what does that mean is if you actually were able to find most suburban office buildings that has multiple vacancies because everybody's working home, that's an opportunity to buy into that office space. Or, if you're able to get a good amount to lease a floor out, you can actually divide that up and you can make money that way by actually leasing out that floor to other, when you divide out to multiple tenants. And sometimes, and also when we talk about a seasoned investor, you can actually purchase a property that multiple vacancies, own or occupy one, of course, and become a landlord and lease the rest. So it depends on what your niche area is, specialize in, find out what you like and what you love and go that direction. Because if that loves retail, there's no point if you're trying to invest into multifamily. Mm-hmm. If you're a person that, loves office, there's no point in actually going to retail. So you want to find what area works best with you. And your spending patterns, your investment patterns, because at the end of the day, it has to make bottom line. And give it or not, interest rates are not bad when we talk about real estate. Interest rates are not bad. So you have a good chance of getting, whether you're getting a bridge loan, if you don't have enough monies for it, or to actually refinance and actually after you get the asset. So it's a lot of different things. Buy Class C minus building, not in the best of both worlds, add some value add to it, fix it up. Then you can lease it out or sell it, after you can sell after you stabilize it when you lease it up. So there's a lot of different things you can do.
Okay.
So it goes back to find out what you like and what your level of interest and really what you're willing to spend on it.
Okay. So in terms of opportunity also, I was thinking in the terms of, do you see any areas of the Dallas-Fort Worth area that's like some hot spots or some growth sectors that investors could start looking in?
Well, what I know some areas is good, probably Southern Dallas, kind of by 45 area. A lot of those areas, the communities are changing. And one thing in watch in particular is focus on some of these opportunity zones.
Okay.
Those are good areas as well. You can actually Google that up, and then you can find the opportunity zone map for the state of Texas and home in and maybe focus in those areas because I believe they provide some type of antagonist. You want to see where, I would say, find which community is changing a lot, where investors are buying into, and that's as easy as going to this area. Me, I like land, so land is opportunity, whether it's development now, whether it's to buy and hold and develop later, but land is opportunity. So, one area, a lot of areas I see, maybe downtown around the Akron area, you're seeing a lot of those smaller multifamily assets that are being built up, retail at the bottom, and or office at the bottom, and having units, parking garages. So those are kind of going up all over the place. More of on I would say the southern eastern, right immediate southeastern part of downtown Dallas, like literally immediate proximity. East Dallas, again, you see a lot more multifamily being built on these lots. They're flattening old structures, building on top. In West Dallas, that's opportunity, around the Trinity Groves area. All that stuff is rich, and it's probably best to get in now if you can, and buy an asset and hold on to it, or partner up, which is any JVs, joint ventures you can would be great as well. So there's opportunity all the way around. You have to actually go find that area and niche that area and see what opportunity is there.
Okay. All right. Good. So as I said, I hope that you guys have your notebooks ready because he just dropped some really serious nuggets on some areas that you need to go investigate and find out if any of those areas suit your needs. So man, I'm gonna say, me being from the Fair Park area, I was over there about 2 weeks ago, and man, I'm every time I go over there, I'm just blown away at how they're redoing. I think the proper word for it is gentrification. But
Yeah, that's
man,
right.
I'm just excited to just see the part of town that I grew up in is now starting to be a nice place to live and offer some opportunity. So you talked about development, and so what kind of development are you seeing, and what should our audience be on the lookout for? Are those that are interested, such as myself, in new development? What can you tell us?
Um, well, I see development on all different types. I mean, I know in the southern section, the south, obviously a lot of retail strips being constructed right now. Of course, Dallas is like the industrial hub of the nation. And people wonder why so many warehouses. If you think about it, everything from the Gulf coming down from the ships go up through 45, come through Dallas, and then of course from there it splits and goes, whether it's east to the East Coast or it goes west or even go up north. So a lot of trucks that you can see are going right through here. So I mean, you have warehouses literally up and down 2020.
Man, I think we froze. Are you there?
Hello,
There. All
hello, I
right, I'm
lost you.
here. Yeah, looked like we got disconnected. All right, so
That's
it's back
okay.
recording. All right. So what you were saying was about the warehouses and all that. That was actually great info, because I've often asked myself, why are there so many warehouses in this area? And you really just helped me a lot. Coming from a former truck driver, so I used to drive trucks, so I did definitely understand it.
hmm And also, when we talk about I mean, that's on the industrial part.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a lot more offices being built because a lot of space is vacant, so that portion has slowed down. But I do see opportunity for smaller offices, and these smaller offices are local one stories, doctor offices that are embedded into the community off of a major thoroughfare. And sometimes they may mix that with a little bit of retail. That's your dentist offices and stuff like that. Um, and Again, I see a lot of retail being built still. And if you notice a lot of, and people say, okay, well, a lot of spending's not there, but then you do still have a lot of these takeout businesses that
Mm-hmm.
are literally doing excellent,
Mm-hmm.
because guess what? People don't want to get out
Mm-hmm.
and, sit down, but, if they can get it to go in a drive through, that's where they're going. So a lot of drive throughs are just still doing excellent
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic. I had a client of mine literally that is doing real good. And he has, matter of fact, Hall's Chicken,
Mm-hmm.
doing real good, real excellent. When you go there, lines on both sides of the drive-throughs are like 10 cars deep.
Wow.
People don't want to get out their food to go. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just an example. So,
Okay.
so go ahead.
Okay. Good. Good. So I hear you talk a lot too about the 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 retail aspect. I have a friend that does a lot of those little small retail slash industrial type strip centers that they build, probably, on an acre or two, and probably 4 or 5. It could probably hold 4 or 5 businesses. So, do you think the retail sector in that particular part is going to come back strong?
Yes, I believe so. Most of the retail that took a lot of hits, especially when the retail that took a lot of hits, of course, it was the non-essential businesses. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever that business is,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the smaller strip centers, maybe 6 to about 12,000 square feet,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe about the 14,000 square feet, 20 at the max. A good tenant mix will be okay as long as you don't have a big anchor tenant that will shut down. But as long as you have a smaller tenant mix, more of these mom and pop, there's still business is still getting done, as long as they wasn't affected by the shutdown where they had to close doors.
Okay.
Okay, so as long as they have to close doors, rents are still being paid to the landlord. Landlord is still paying rents to the mortgage company. Then there's no issue with those for the most part.
Good deal. Good deal. So, in our talk prior to the show, I think one of the things that
Mm-hmm.
we have in common is uh, this educational piece for business owners,
Mm-hmm.
educating them on why they should own their buildings and not just lease their buildings. So, if you can, let's kind of speak to that.
Sure. If you think about a lease like anything else, when you rent a house, let's just do the same type of comparison. When you rent a house, you're paying a landlord, and guess what? You have no equity into the house. Okay, so you have to get permission pretty much from landlord to do everything else regarding the structure on it. All the money and the payment that you're making toward that lease goes into the landlord's pockets. Okay, owning the building, I think with a multi-tenant type of building and occupying a portion of it, I think is probably the best investment, because you can use the monies from the rents from the other tenants to be able to take care of the building. So necessarily you can, say that, hey, you're not paying any rent,
Right, right,
depending on how much you occupy on it and depending on what type of tenant mix you have. So I think that honestly, that's the best. I think that's the best alternative or the best option when you're actually want to get the commercial building. A lot of people want it for themselves, and it's okay as long as you can have a way to make it where it generates revenue back for you and it take care of the note. Then you are great. One example: I had a doctor I was working with, and doctor leases space right now, and doctor wants to consolidate leasing multiple offices into purchasing a building, which I think makes a lot of sense.
mm-hmm.
But guess what? When we introduced the idea, instead of you just wanting to just purchase your own portion of a building, go ahead and purchase the building that has tenants in it. And then again, that mindset of now you're the landlord and the tenants are paying your note. So that's one less liability and thing you have to pay,
Right,
and of more money back in your pocket
right, right.
or back in the
Hey,
business. Let me say that.
right, right. And and the other thing, man, that I'm really trying to push and trying to get out there to people is that because of what I do as far as financing, I help investors and business owners buy buildings and buy
Mhm.
properties. One of the things that I'm seeing is that we don't put enough emphasis on our net worth. And so when you own your building, that equity is going toward your net worth. And now
Yes.
that's one of the ways that you can scale is to constantly improve your net worth. And man, I'm finding when you have a net worth, it just opens up avenues that are just like unreal. But just trying to get some just trying to get people to understand that and understand that being a business owner is more than just providing a good service. It's also being a good steward of what you have
Hmm.
and building on it. So that's awesome. And that is awesome. Um, so man, let me ask you this. So why don't you tell us about your company, Franchise Rig, and what you guys do and how you serve the community.
Sure. Been in real estate about 10 years. Worked at multiple companies, worked at the bigger Keller Williams companies on the residential side, worked on the smaller brokerages. And I mean, with anybody, you know, you're wanting to control your own kind of transactions, not anything unethically, but then you like to move how you want to move. And I move very quickly, so I don't have a lot of different thresholds or red tape and things like that I have to pass through. So that allows me to get deals done quicker. So with that, the vision started from Franchise Real Estate Group, and me and my wife started this business. And it's just an easy dynamic duo type of deal. I do the commercial side, wife does the residential side. And right now she's working on more of the commercial side. We focus on a lot of commercial leases and also investment sales. And when we talk about investment sales, that's your assets, that's your actual office building. That is your acreage of land, because we list a lot of land, which that gives us relationships with developers. Developers like land, build on it. That gives you the opportunity to possibly lease out that asset. We, of course, we work with a lot of businesses, smaller businesses that, of course, you know, adds to your network and your database, you know, for in the event that, you know, you have, if in the event you're representing a landlord for a multi-tenant type of asset building, and you're able to find tenants to be able to lease that up. Landlords love that. And then most of the time, landlords, once they have that leased up, that provides opportunity for them to, one, buy another one or to sell their current asset. And then it goes to that number that we hear a lot is 1031 exchange.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand that 1031 exchange is a tax deferral situation that landlords love. It's a tax break where, you know, it's a tax deferral break, I would say. And so what happens is normally when you sell a property, you have to pay taxes on the proceeds or the net gains on that property. But when you do a 1031 exchange, that's an opportunity for you to invest back into another property. So as a real estate professional, whoever's in real estate, you're already selling the property. Then of course you're assisting on buying another one, you know, so that's opportunity to do two different type of transactions. And depending on the asset, you can be leasing that asset as well. As a third provides multiple opportunities. So that opportunity, that 1031 exchange is very important, especially because a lot of investors out here, they don't want to pay taxes and they want you to find them something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great opportunity as well.
Okay. And you also have this desire, which I love, is that you want to help educate other realtors and other not just African Americans. You want to help minorities get into the commercial real estate space. And so one of the things that you've taken on and that you champion is commercial real estate education. So what's some opportunities that you have coming up and to help if current agents want to get into the commercial side, and then if somebody wants to be a commercial agent, how are you helping them?
Okay, well, the percentage of minorities, and I'll speak to African Americans, is probably maybe about 3 to 5% in the industry in commercial real estate. And so, you know, I think that there should be more representation with that out there. And to be honest, a lot of agents, not just minorities, they are approaching, how do I get in commercial real estate? I want to get in commercial real estate. And if you don't know the lingo or don't know how to get there, you know, it's pretty much like a closed door type of situation. It's a I can think like a members only club, you know, and people have to let you in, and that's just how it is. And so I've kind of break down those barriers, and with that being said, I can provide education to people who want to do those deals, who want to get in that arena, because honestly, you know. I love commercial real estate. It's a business type of environment. And with anything, there's not really any emotions involved with let's get the deal done attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've championed to make sure that I increase participation from a lot of residential agents to that sector. Now, is it easy to get into? No. A lot of research. It provides you to have the monies and to be able to have the savviness to kind of get deals done. And it provides, and it's tough skin. So this isn't something that, if you don't have tough skin, it'd be a very transition for you. But a lot of it's honestly is construction based. So if you understand how construction works, you wouldn't have a bad job at all. Actually, kind to go and transition to the field. I love it. I wish I would have went to it honestly when I was in real estate, but you learn. I've done every side of the transaction, pretty much. So I'm just here to try to spread this knowledge to others and feed into others, and try to build a team up for it. Now, when we talk about opportunities, I also teach. I have courses that I do teach. I teach at the local associations, and so what that is every real estate professional is attached to an association after you get your license. And so that's normally where you get your system from, and your system be able to pull up listings. So for most residential agents, they have the multiple listing system, which is called MLS. They're through MetroTex Association of Realtors, depending on where you stay. If you stay in Collin County, there's a Collin County Association of Realtors. If you're in Arlington, it's the Arlington Board Association of Realtors, and what so forth. But I teach these associations, these commercial real estate classes, and whether or not those classes are filled up. Everybody wants that information, and as well as you get your actual continuing education credit for with so the last class I had, it was called I have a commercial deal. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
That's for residential agents to figure out what they're going to do with their deal once they get in their lap. Because I mean, with any agent, you check and see the commission. And what I got to do to get the deal done. I've also taught commercial real estate basics classes, more different descriptions of asset types, type of qualities, and commercial real estate to look for. The one-on-one base coming now, I'm going to have a commercial real estate. So what that is your one-on-one on how to do a commercial real estate lease. And know it or not, leasing in commercial real estate is more financially lucrative than actually selling and buying. You have more businesses that go back and forth to get leases done. So a lot of long-term businesses tend to yield fair, as opposed to trying to sell a piece of commercial property. So, yeah, I have two courses. September 23rd, it's called Commercial Real Estate Basics. That's from 9 to 12, Texas Association of Realtors. And then from 1 to 2, I have a commercial deal. What's next? And then on the September 22nd, I said 23rd first, but September 22nd, from 9 to 11, I have commercial real estate leasing one-on-one class. And again, you can sign up those with Metro Texas Association of Realtors. It's very simple, very easy. Doesn't cost much at all. From the comfort of your own, learn more about commercial real estate. I have a Q&A section where you're able to ask me questions. People to this day that actually take my class still stay in contact with me, and still have questions about it, and they love the content out of it. And a couple of them actually, it's enough move forward into that area.
Okay, great. So if you can, real briefly, so how did you, you said that sometimes this could be a closed door kind of thing. So how did you get into the commercial space? Who was there one person that was kind of instrumental in helping you break in?
Actually, what I did, I actually reached out to a colleague His name is John. and he wound up referring me to another guy, and this guy name is Clifford Bogert. Cliff is actually a current commercial real estate instructor that's been teaching for maybe 10 to 15 years. So had a conversation with him, actually joined his team, got mentored by him. And mentored is very important here because, I mean, it's your fiduciary duty as a real estate professional to know your craft, and I actually had a mentor to help me through these transactions. And he ran me through these transactions, assisted me on questions, trainings, anything that was needed, pulled me in the right direction. And from there, I was able to become proficient enough to be able to leave the brokerage and move forward on my own. And then that's when we worked on, that's when we started the company on up and, kind of went from there.
Good,
So
good, good.
it takes, but it's not easy. Just I'll listen here or there. You have to actually be active in these transactions. You have to pick up a book and you have to research, read, look, and see how the economy is doing. If there is a business real estate club, guess what? You pick up, you pick up your business cards and you go to this real estate club. You go network. A lot of it is, honestly, it is very, very network based. It's about who you know in commercial real estate. It is what you know, but it's also who you know and how you can get these done quicker. And a person will, I would say, I'll be honest, trust you with that transaction. So
yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding in even from a financing perspective. It's who you know, it's networking, and it's building relationships, and it's just trying to find the right people that will give you a shot. And once you get that shot, you have to come through. So I am constantly sharpening my saw. I'm taking another commercial real estate underwriting class. So that's where you have to know your stuff. So well, good. So during this time, we are about to wrap up, and I'm gonna ask you a couple of quick questions, and these don't require any thought. So my first question is, Mike, is if someone's coming to town or if you're entertaining a client, what's your favorite restaurant that you're going to take them to?
Oh, well, that's good. Well, yeah, it depends on the type of client.
Mm-hmm.
Because more or less when I meet clients, it's normally coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we may be at a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on the client. Some clients like to talk, maybe have a drink. We
Mm-hmm.
may go find a Mexican restaurant. Those are always great. So,
Mm-hmm.
usually it'll usually be maybe in the central, maybe business district or a central downtown location, around other, and around other professionals as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a lot of times it depends what time of the
Okay.
day, whether it's coffee or it's lunch.
Okay. All right. All right. And then what books are you currently reading?
Coincidentally, yeah, I read several books. The last one I'm reading now, I believe is Commercial Real Estate Due Diligence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I literally will go look on Amazon. I'll Google up
Mm-hmm.
different books and check out the reviews before I buy them,
Mm-hmm.
and finish the book up. Take those notes, and actually
Mm-hmm.
put them on a Word document. Go back, look at them,
Mm-hmm.
reference back to them. But yeah, you got to always look at books, whether
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
commercial real estate introductions, investments, research. Looking up books is very vital.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, you just helped me right there, because what I do when I read books, I started, you know, underlining and highlighting all that. But then once you put that book up, unless you write it down, you won't remember what you read. So then I started writing the significant things in a separate notebook. But what you just helped me with was put them in a Word document, and so I could easily find them. And that's great. That's great. I really do Appreciate that nugget. So my final question, Mike, is this:
Yeah.
is what would Mike Jones today tell Mike Jones at 18 years old?
Oh man. Well, that's a good question. Well, to be honest, real estate wise, I would have gotten real estate at 18.
Mm-hmm.
I would have joined probably I would have probably joined one of the larger firms to get the experience. And I would have honestly, doing what I'm doing now. It's one of those situations when the saying goes, if I knew what I knew now,
Right.
I really would have started working in commercial real estate outright at a younger age, because I believe at this point in time, I would have been owning multiple commercial assets.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I would have started early, partnered up, become a developer, own multiple assets if I know now.
Right.
And I
Good
would
deal.
say take that direction initially.
All right. All right. Man, I definitely understand that because I've been in real estate or in the financial services industry connected to real estate since I came out of the Navy. And I've always toyed with this idea of being an agent and wanting to be a commercial agent. And it's like, man, I've done everything but that. And so it's like, I need to go ahead and go down that path, because I just love putting deals together. So I definitely understand that. So, man, well, thank you so much for taking out the time to speak with us. If anybody wants to get in contact with you, how could they get in contact with you?
Yeah, sure. Our website, is www.franchisereg.com. The word franchisereg.com. I can be reached at Michael at franchisereg.com. Michael at franchisereg.com. And then, I'm a big emailer. 214-228-2157 is my cellular phone. 214-228-2157. Very accessible, but I'm just a bigger emailer because a lot of times I'm back in meetings or I'm handling other appointments and matters and things like that.
All right. And if you could repeat your email.
It's Michael, spell out the word Michael, lowercase, and at franchisereg.com. The word franchise, then reg.com.
All right. All right. Well, man, thank you so much. I wish you much success in all of the endeavors that you have, man. I really don't know how you find the time to do all the things that you do, but you are doing them, and you're doing them with excellence. So I just want to, again, man, thank you for taking out the time to speak with Emerge, the real estate podcast audience today.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much. So, Emerge, I hope you guys had your notebooks. Again, don't forget that this podcast is sponsored by Victory Capital, www.victoryvictorycapital.com. And Victory Capital exists for one reason and one reason only, and that is to connect investors and business owners to the capital that they need. Again, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you soon.